Good morning. Welcome to Saturday morning medical Qigong class. It's so great to see you. My name is Mary Francis, and I am one of Hong Liu's medical Qigong students. And today, it being Saturday, we're going to be going over the Rejuvenation series 1 through 5, and then the first part of 6. And then after that, after the first 30 minutes, we're going to go over the second part of 6. And then we'll do our seasonal exercises. So it'll be a little longer today. Stay as long as you can. If you cut out because you have wonderful things to do this weekend, I hope you enjoy your weekend. And this week during the swimming dragon instructional part, I am going to be doing a correction because last week I did something wrong. It happens. It happens. Sadly, it happens, especially when you say that the exercise is easy or fairly simple. The Qigong entities come to you and help you with your karma immediately sometimes, which is lovely, and then you do the exercise incorrectly and you have to apologize later. So I'm apologizing. I'm sorry. We're going to be doing a slight correction for the first part of Swimming Dragon. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and start with our warm-ups. The only other thing is that depending on where you are and when you are practicing this, right now I'm in LA, and the weather today and throughout the weekend is going to be quite warm. So my windows are open. That means there might be more noise. And for you, if you ever need to hydrate, please do so. Once again, you don't get extra points for heat stroke or fainting, all right, or dehydration. So let's go ahead and start. We're opening up our feet, our hip width, shoulder width apart a little wider is fine. We're going to settle into this space, letting the bottoms of the feet melt into the earth. Dropping the tailbone, allowing the very top of the head to reach up and open just a little bit into the sky. Allowing some space in the spine. Softening the knees, relaxing the shoulders. Relaxing the jaw, elevating the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. We're going to be doing our tapping exercise. I'm trying to mirror you. Starting at the lower dantian, allowing for that connection between the mind's eye, the mind intent. The area with which we're tapping, that vibration. Utilizing the vibration and the breath to help open up the channels, open up the tissues. Checking in with the body, see what's going on. Wiping out anything you don't need or want, letting it go back into the earth. widening the stance. Tapping the inner thigh and up at the hip. Relaxing the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists. And continuing on. Sliding that left foot a little closer to the right, maintaining that hip width, shoulder width distance. Saying hello to the kidneys. Waking up the energy there. Gently, not like throwing the covers off, but a nice gentle way. Placing the palms of the low back, circling down the sides, up the spine. Bringing a little extra warmth, a little extra chi to the kidneys. And then once you've done about 9 circles, resting the palms of the low back. Closing the eyes. Inhaling, guiding the breath in the chi to the low back, allowing it to fill up with energy. Exhaling, allowing that energy to travel and flow to wherever it's needed within the body. Inhaling, guiding the breath in the chi to the low back. And exhaling, allowing that energy to travel and flow to wherever it's needed. When you're ready, gently opening the eyes, letting the arms come back down to the sides and closing by bringing that left foot back to the right. Checking the time. Okay, great. So for the Rejuvenation series, 1 through 5 and a little bit of 6, I'm going to be moving at a moderate pace today. You use the breath rate that works best for you. So, opening for the first exercise, the wave, inhaling, exhaling, in, and out, inhaling, and exhaling. Opening, inhaling, and exhaling, in, and out, inhaling, and exhaling. Getting ready to close. Closing. Inhaling. I'm doing the modification where I'm exhaling at the breastbone. Inhaling. Exhaling. In. And out. Inhaling. And exhaling. Our second exercise, the shaking exercise. Opening. The breath for this exercise is relatively slow, even though the movements are quick, but your choice. Closing your eyes if you're familiar with the exercise, allowing the feet to melt and connect to the earth. And beginning with shaking. And beginning to back off the momentum. Gently opening the eyes if they're closed, and closing. The classic way of the closing is inhaling all the way up, exhaling, in and out, inhaling and exhaling. Next we have infinity. Inhaling and exhaling, in and out. Getting ready to close. Closing. Then we have Scoop the Moon. The breathing for Scoop the Moon is natural breathing. So it's whichever works best for you. Getting ready to close. And closing. Then we have our swimming in chi. 3 parts. And I'm going to do the modification on the 3rd part for like the first 1 or 2. Just to prepare, you might want to look around you, seeing if anything is too close. Opening. Inhaling. Exhaling. Transitioning into part 2. So we're inhaling, exhaling, in, and out. Inhaling, exhaling. Transitioning into part 3. A modification first. Inhaling and exhaling. More classically. And moving to the other side. The modification. The more classic version. And getting ready to close. Closing. And swimming dragon. Our 6th exercise, the first part. I'll go over the correction in our later. Now just doing the exercise. Inhaling, exhaling, in and out. Getting ready to close. Closing. Inhaling. Exhaling. In and out. Okay, we're going to do a relatively simple closing today. Notice I predicated it by saying relatively simple. So Keeping the feet together so we can retain all that wonderful energy we've been cultivating. Bringing the palms together. Bringing the palms down to the lower dantian. Closing the eyes. Inhaling, guiding the breath and the chi to the lower dantian, allowing it to fill up with energy. Exhaling, allowing that energy to settle and store so that we may use it throughout the rest of our day. Inhaling, guiding the breath and the chi, allowing it to fill up within the lower dantian. And as you exhale, allowing that chi to settle and store. So it's there for you for the rest of your day. Thank you so very, very much for waking up so early on a Saturday morning on 3-day weekend. If you want to stick around, we're going to be working more on swimming dragon. All right, so last week, what I said was that the head and the hips go in opposite directions. That's not true. I think that's what I said. And I'm not going to talk any more about it because I don't want to confuse the issue and confuse myself anymore. So if you want to go see what we did last week, you can. Otherwise, we're going to start new this week and talk about the first set briefly before we go into part 2. So for part, we've got the palms together. I'm going to assume we've already done our opening. So palms together in front of the breastbone, feet together. The head is going to turn to the left. The hands are going to go to the right. Okay, first let's just do that. So head turns to the left, hands go to the right. And then they come back together to meet in the center. Head now turns to the right, hands go into the left. And then they come back to the center. All right, so breath, inhaling, exhaling, in and out. Now, if you've noticed, I'm getting this little U type shape. So the hands come up just a little bit as I inhale. They descend a little bit as I exhale, inhaling and exhaling. So this is the fun part. We get to add in the hips and the knees. So as our heads turn to the left, our hips are also going to go to the left as we sink at the knees. And then we bring everything back to the center. Sinking at the knees, turning to the right as the hips go to the right, coming back up to the center. Inhaling and exhaling. In and out. Inhaling and exhaling. One more time. In and out. Okay, so that's part 1. Part 2. Before we do part 2, a quick anatomy for part 2. We've got the throat level. We've got the solar plex level, we've got the lower dantian level, okay? Throat, solar plexus. Solar plexus is right where the rib cage meets, just underneath the xiphoid process. And if you poke there a little bit, it may feel a little uncomfortable. And then the hips, or sorry, not so much the hips, but the lower dantian 3 to 4 finger rests beneath the belly button. Okay, so we've just done our side-to-side movement. Now, this is without the breath work, just the mechanics. The hands are going to elevate, and then they're going to come back down above the right side of the head at a little angle. I'm trying to mirror you, and we're going to sink with the knees, with the hip, once again going in the same direction as the head. So hips, head going to the left, hands going to the right. And I think of it as like a little jaunty hat that I'm wearing on my head. You don't want the hands touching the head, but that's how I think of it, is a little jaunty hat on the right side of my head. So we're inhaling, exhaling, and then we're going to sweep the arms out in front of us, pinky side, as our hips go in the opposite direction and our head is moving in the opposite direction of the arms. So the arms and the hip, the head and the hips move in the opposite direction of the arms. So let's do that one more time. We've got our jaunty hat. We're sweeping the arms out, passing the level of the throat. Then we're flipping the hands. Once again, we've got that pinky side out, and we're slicing across the level of the solar plexus. Flipping the hands, going across the level of the lower dantian. And then to start again, we're simply elevating the hands. So now they're the thumb side out. Sweeping now across the solar plexus. Flipping the hands, thumb side out. Sweeping across the throat. And then the hands together are going to travel like it's a planet, like you're, I don't know which, but planet orbiting the sun? Yes, planet orbiting the sun. The hands are orbiting the head to come back to that jaunty hat. Okay, so across the throat, across the solar plexus, across the lower dantian. Elevating without flipping, across the solar plexus, flip, across the throat, and then your hands are the planet rotating around the sun to come back to the jaunty hat. It's pinky side out, pinky side out, pinky side out, elevating, thumb, flip, thumb, and then rotating all the way over to the jaunty hat. Now the breathing. We're inhaling, exhaling, in and out. One more time, inhaling and exhaling, in and out. For part 2, we're inhaling as we elevate, exhaling, head and hips to the left, the hands on the right. We're inhaling as we come across the throat, exhaling across the solar plexus, inhaling across the lower dantian, raising, exhaling across the solar plexus, flip, inhaling across the throat, and then rotating as we exhale to come back to our starting point. In, out, In, out, inhale, and exhale. One more time. In, out, in, out, inhaling, and exhaling. Okay. All right, so that's going to be it for Swimming Dragon right now. We're going to add in part 3 next week, as well as do a lot of review. Okay. So to close, as I do want to close, sweeping down, inhaling all the way up, exhaling, in, out, inhaling, and exhaling. With the breath for the second part, it might be a nice little reminder, inhaling at the beginning and at the end. And the solar plexus, if you do press in a little bit, you automatically kind of want to exhale because it doesn't feel so good. It pushes the breath out. So if that helps, remembering the breath pattern. If it doesn't, then don't think about it. Okay, now we get to move along to our seasonal exercises. We're still in part 2. We're coming up on part 3. Part 3 is going to be, I believe it's Monday, but I'm going to double check to make sure it's not tomorrow. But I believe it's Monday. And I want this. And as always, this is an excellent time to get your liquid. Settling into this space once again. For preparation, bringing the hands into baby fists, resting the backs of the hands against the thighs. Elongating the spine, relaxing the shoulders, tip of the tongue is still touching the roof of the mouth. And we're closing the eyes. Inhaling and exhaling at your own pace, about 3 times. Allowing yourself to come into the space, coming into the moment. Allowing the body and mind to relax into the breath. We're opening the eyes. Gathering in front of the breastbone. Inhaling as we activate the claws and the upper musculature. Exhaling, turning towards the left. Inhaling, elevating. Exhaling. In. Out. Inhaling.
Exhaling as we come back to the center and regroup. Same to the right side. Inhaling. Exhaling. In. Out. Inhaling. Exhaling. In. And out. You get to do this now at your own pace, 2 more times on each side. And if you prefer, instead of regrouping in the middle, you can go straight from side to side. It's up to you, your choice. It's your choice. And I'm gonna try going from side to side without the break in the middle, and I'll wait a little bit afterwards for everyone to catch up. Part 2, we're tapping the back. Classically, men tap their backs 36 times, women 24. And it's a light tapping. We're being nice to the kidneys, gently talking to them. Once you've done the tapping in the low back, we're going to place the palms one on top of the other, palms up, hands one on top of the other. Men traditionally place their left hand on top, women the right hand. For our closing series for the seasonal exercises, we're pressing the teeth 36 times traditionally if you're a dude, 24 times traditionally if you're female, and then swirling the tongue. Everyone, it's 9 times clockwise, 9 times counterclockwise, and then swishing the saliva, that precious, wonderful saliva, between the teeth, 36 times for everyone. After that, we're swallowing in thirds, and between each third, or after each third, you're letting the saliva come down, that lower dantian, settling and storing, for then swallowing your next third. Okay, here we go. Closing your eyes. I was going to thank you too soon. Closing the eyes. Inhaling and exhaling at your own pace. Using the mind's eye, the mind intent, to gather the wonderful chi that you've been cultivating into the lower dantian, allowing it to fill up with energy. Exhaling, allowing that energy to settle and store so that you may use it throughout the rest of your day. Thank you so very, very much. It's just, I'm so excited. Thank you.